Oh my gosh!
Hi everyone, this is Connie from Connie's Creative Creations. Today, as you can see, I am taking part in a collab called Oh My Gouache. Okay, gouache is something that a lot of people don't know what it is. So we're going to get into that in just a moment. So let's get right to it and I'll explain all about it. Okay, so this is the Hemi Gouache. Hemi Gouache or Gouache, there's other brands. Hemi is just the brand we use, is a gel paint that reacts or acts like a watercolor, and it acts like an acrylic paint. But it is water activated, so it's like a jelly, but it can harden and it can dry. But anytime you put water on it, it reactivates the paint. So I'm using I forgot the word. It's not watercolor paint, paper. It's multimedia paint paper. So I'm taking the blue, which is Persian blue, and I'm putting it on this paper. Now, I've got it really dark in that upper part, and I decide I don't want it that dark. So what I do is and I have a water spritzer to keep these paints wet. And so what I do is I start putting it in that reservoir on my palette, and I start getting that wet and pulling that paint down, because even when this is dry, completely dry, I can come back and re-wet it and it reactivates it. So it's not like acrylic in that effect, and even watercolors will not reactivate the way this reactivates. So you can see I'm doing like a sky, but we're going to watch me do this. But let's get to some other information. This is a collab, which I'll talk about in a minute. But if you are new here, welcome to my channel. I hope that you find my channel amazing and that you will hit that subscribe button. It's free to you, but it helps my channel grow. And if you are a returning subscriber or returning to my channel, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. And if you are subscribing, think about hitting that notification bell. You hit it, click on the drop down menu and click on all, and you should be notified every time I upload a video. As well as give me a big old thumbs up, and don't forget to leave a comment if you'd like. I love reading them. Okay, now with this, I just have that water there. It's like a soapy water. Now, each time I'm done with a color, I just whip it around in there and use my paper towel, and it pretty much takes most of the paint off. And because it's water activated, these brushes they get stained, but they're really easy to clean because it's just soap and water. So now I am taking this, let's see, what color is it? I cannot remember. Oh, it's just purple. And I am just using it to infuse into this blue. Now, I was wrong on the blue. The blue is called acid blue instead of the Persian blue. So it's acid blue, and then this is just purple. And I can't see the names on these. I made a palette, or I didn't make a palette. I made a grid, and I wrote down all of the colors on it, as well as the lot number and the order number, so if I have to order new pots. So this is a paint that you want to keep it wet as much as possible. So when I put it away, I spritz it, and when I get ready to use it, I spritz it. Now you can see that I can make this more opaque in with less water, and I can make it more watercolor with more water. Okay, I'm putting the moon, and I was going to leave it as a sliver of a moon, but I go back and I change that. Now this, like I said, it's a collab. It's all about gouache paints. There is 4 of us in this collab. There the host, which is Sarah from Can Sarah DIY It. Then there's myself, Danielita from Danielita AF, and Dee from Designe'rs Loft. And so we're all going to be painting with this gouache. Okay, so now I'm picking up some black, and I'm going to be painting in like a tree is leaning into the picture. So this, of course, is the night sky, and I'm just going to be putting the branches and the leaves in this night sky. And this, I'm not using a lot of water, just enough so that it will flow, but not that it will look like watercolor. That's the one thing I really, really like about this paint, is depending on how much water I use will depend on how it looks on the palette and how well it flows. Of course, watercolors flow really well, and if I, like I said, if I'm adding the black on top, I don't want to be picking up the other color up into that paint very much, and so by not using very much water, I'm not having that issue at all. And as you see, I'm holding the paper because this paper watercolor paper, that tends to curl, and so I'm holding it down so that it doesn't curl on me, and so I can get the angle on what I'm doing. So I don't think this is so much of a tree as it is more of a bush. You know, you can see like you're peeking around a bush and you're looking at the night sky. Well, that's what we're doing. So I'm just going to sit here and I am going to paint all these branches and leaves and just fill it in to make it look like a bush. Also, don't forget to go check out my description box. Down there, I will have everyone that's in the Collab's channel link as well as the playlist link so that you can go to all of them and see what we've all done with the gouache. So as you can see, I'm still just painting away and just filling in these bush. And it's going to get thicker and thicker as I lay more layers down on top of it. Now, if I was using it as watercolors, that would make it a lot harder, but I'm using it very little water, just enough so that it will flow and not so that it will pick up on each other. So I'm able to end up crossing over the top of each other and not making a huge muddy mess of paint. I'm excited as well to see what everyone else is painting with this gouache. Thursday night I had Dee and Sarah on my live, and we were all painting with gouache as well to kind of introduce it. You'll want to go back and watch that live if you're interested. It was a really fun time of painting. I love to paint, so this is like, oh, this is one of my veins I just absolutely love being in. So I love to paint, and I'm enjoying myself, and I hope you guys think about buying this. I will have the link also in my description box of where I purchased, or the one I purchased from Amazon of the Hemi gouache, and it's Himi, and it's not that expensive to buy, and you get these pots have tons of paint in them, and you can reorder more pots to fill it, so it's not like, oh, one set and it's done. No, you can continue buying more as you empty, and they're only a couple of dollars, or less than $2, I think, for each pot. So it's not like it's super expensive to buy. And like I said, I use multimedia paper instead of watercolor paper, because I also do charcoals and a lot of other medias as well as watercolors, and so I just wanted to be able to use this paper for all of those different mediums because I enjoy doing them. And think about doing this. Think about trying it out. It's an amazing paint. It comes with the paint brushes. Now, I had added a couple of brushes to it because those, the brushes that I like to use when I'm painting. So I added a couple to it, but I won't cross over from the paint brushes in this to my acrylic or my chalk paint. I don't cross over, so these will stay with this set. And yeah, so here I am just working away at this. I hope you guys really enjoy this process. And try this out. If you've ever worried about watercolors, this is a nice way to go because it's not exactly watercolor. You can use it like watercolor, but you don't have to. I like the fact that it's water activated because I can go back and reactivate this at any time until I seal it. And I will probably seal it I use hairspray to seal it. It doesn't wet it, but it seals it. I do that also with my charcoals and my watercolors. So that makes it easy to seal it once you're done with your project. Okay, I'm going back with the white, and I decided I want a full moon, so I'm adding it in, and then we're going to call this project done. I hope you guys really, really like this. So now I will have to lay this down flat with something on it to straighten it out. So I hope you guys like this painting. Don't forget to call somebody today and tell them you love them. It might be exactly what they need to hear. Also, you guys have the most blessed week. And don't forget to be the Bible that somebody reads today. Bye.